Well, we were wondering because I mean we saw a lot of pictures from the production. How did you manage to get the? Did you have a shooting schedule in Norway, and did you ever stick
But in Norway we had to change the shooting schedule. We had like between 2 and 4 options for every day, depending on the weather forecast.
So you had basically 4 shooting schedules.
Yeah, well, at least we had 2 at least, but and then we had to come up with a bunch of options. So that a couple of days we had like four shooting schedules, plan A, B, C, D, and because this area is where the weather comes in from the west, and it changes all the time. So we prepared from the weather forecast the day before, and then in the morning we prepared for a good weather scene, and we set up the camera and everything. The actors were prepared and the weather was good, and then the clouds came, and then you have to stand and say time is running, and shall we change to bad weather scenes now? Yes, we do. And then prepare for a bad weather scene, and then the sun comes out. So it's so we lost a lot of shooting time actually, and there's more interior scenes than exterior. I mean, time-wise, but
shooting wise, you spend more time in Norway.
Yeah, shooting wise, you spend more time there, and but I think all the actors they were so what do you call it? Tålmodig, patient, and nice guys, and they were sitting out there on their chairs in this, because they had these Teletubby costumes, like these fight suits, so they were really warm, and they were standing outside most of the time, playing with snow, and because I mean, we didn't have any trailers or anything up there. It was just some kind of a snowmobile that you could go inside if you wanted to, if it was too cold or too windy. But it was just. I mean, I was very well prepared with all the scenes, and I knew what all the scenes were about and how I wanted to execute them. But, so we just had to change and improvise, be ready for it. But there is, for instance, a scene that takes place in a snow cave. The first night when they leave the plane, the Germans they spend the first night in the snow cave, and then that snow cave we had built, and then so we had that as an option for when we could use any of the weather. We just spent half a day in that snow cave, so it was constantly changing the schedules. But in the studio we worked linear. I mean, from the beginning to the end of the script. So everything was
more precise.
Yeah. It was chronological. Very much. And I showed, because we had the Easter break in between, and I showed the actors some of the outdoor scenes that we had roughly edited, just to remind them of how cold it was, and the noise and the wind, and how much voice.
How lucky they are now.
Yeah. And how much voice they need to use in order to be heard at all. So. And
I think Florian has mentioned that to us because we saw him.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that there were amazing shots of the landscape.
Yeah.
And we weren't quite sure when he'd seen them. But that was
he had seen them. When did you meet him?
I was in May or June.
Okay. Now we when we were up in the mountains, or actually in Sweden as well, I had a technician, a guy who knows a little bit of editing. I had him to edit a very, very rough cut in 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes that we screened every Friday after, so just to put on music, and it's like a music video with impressions, and just to see what we were doing, and that really helped a lot to give them the feeling that we're doing something good here, because when you were standing out there in the snow and you just go over, we just walk, and everything was a virgin snow, like no one had been there before them. So now you walk in that direction, and then you turn and you go walk, and you fall. So it was a little bit. And it was noisy because we had wind machines, and snow machines, and smoke machines to make it all white out. so it's kind of crazy, but I think it was I think it was a good experience for the actors. I think I only think when I met Rupert in London, before he decided to do this movie, or just see if we get along. And the only thing I can promise you is that it's going to be cold and exotic. And I guess I was right. And yeah, I think he.
How often did you meet him before he got cast?
I only met him once, but we were just sitting in Soho Hotel and had lunch, and he was a nice guy, and I tried to be him. My best side, and
he said yes.
Yeah, and he said yes. So and I think, and it's a good part, and he's really. Of course, when you've been doing Harry Potter for so many years, it's important that when that era is over, you have to go on into something else. And he chose this as something else.
Yeah.
It's a very different part from what he's been doing before, and he does it brilliantly. So he's perfect. And everyone who sees the movie says, "Oh, the actors are so good," and everyone thinks that no matter what else, they really like the actors.
Yeah, they mentioned that we went to Grint, the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we go to Norway every year.
Yeah.
And the woman at the reception said that the acting was amazing.
Because she'd seen the rough cut.
Yeah.
And she said it looked really, really good.
Yeah. No, it's I think it's a good movie.
It looks good.
You're not biased at all.
No, this is my 9th feature film, and I made staged 25 theatre productions, and I know when I can say that this is good. This is. I mean, I'm not saying that it's the best in the world or something, but this is how I wanted it to be, and that's my formula for success. If I can't wait for some critic who happens to be working, be on duty that day in that newspaper, writing.
Maybe in a bad mood.
Yeah, maybe in a bad mood, and if I'd waited one day, you had another critic, or so. So I have to say that okay. This is how I wanted this movie to be, and that's some kind of quality, I think. And this movie is how I wanted it to be. It's beautiful. It's quite funny. It's pretty absurd, and it's a very different war movie, which is not actually a war movie. It's about usually when I and my friends, we go to a cabin, we go up there as friends. Mm-hmm. And we maybe drink too much, and then we end up as enemies. We argue about things. So this is the
other way around.
This is the other way around. They come in there as enemies. Someone has told them that they're both bad guys, and they find out that they're not. And that, I think we tell that story in a good way. It's kind of I feel that the movie. I like to watch it, and I very rarely do. When I see my own movies a couple of times, I think I fall asleep and I think, but this one I like to work. I like to see it. I like to.
How did you work with Stig Henrik Hoff and his German?
I didn't actually.
You just let him do his
he of course Florian and David, they helped him, and then we have been we have dubbed him. We have gone over some of his lines and done them again with a consultant.
For the ADR.
Yeah, for the ADR, yes. But I guess when it opens in Germany, everyone will speak German. So because you always dub the movies. But this particular movie should be in German. Yes, I think. But I think the German that Stig Henrik speaks now is sufficient, or it's good enough.
Well, he only said one thing. That sounded good.
Yeah, and he doesn't say so much. He doesn't speak so much. Most of what he says is in English.
Yeah, when he's talking to
Yeah, because he and Rupert, they become kind of the odd couple, the friends.
Okay.
So it's some quite cute scenes with the two of them when they're out skiing and towards the end of the movie and all that, and it's.
So we're back to the romance.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, love between men. I think not necessarily gay, but it's they like each other, and it's kind of friendship that grows over a very long period of time, and it's very unlikely that the two, because Rupert is really fiery and is rude to everyone all the time. He's rude. It's just but then he starts looking at this strunk guy that Stig Henrik plays, and he's a big brute. Maybe he's not so maybe he's not so stupid, and he mocks him all the time. Maybe you're too fucking stupid to feel the cold, and is it true that you crowds eat nothing but sausages and stuff like that? So he's charmingly rude, I think, and I think that Stig Henrik is this German guy to see that. Just one day I'll take him, and then I'll really. But he does it in a very nice way, and so they kind of surprise each other.
And that kind of explains what he does in the last scene that we saw.
Yeah. So I talked. You did not have a chance to ask any questions. So.
Well, very heavy.
How about the trailer? Is that?
It's not. You can see rough.
Yeah.
It still says Conrad?
That still says Comrade.
Yeah.
It'll be Into the White, and I think that Into the White, I like Comrade a lot, but there's another movie that is called Comrade, and they have kind of licensed that. But I think Into the White is, I mean, this is a white landscape. It's new, unknown territory when it comes to nature, and also comes to meeting people there.
And they need a blank slate.
Yeah.
To become friends.
Yes. Yeah. And white is peace and.
You just have to get used to it.
Yeah. I have to get used to it too.
Yeah. I will spend 9 months with Comrade.
Yeah.
And now we have to switch.
So you actually went to Grotle?
Yeah.
And
we're sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the place where you had the press conference as
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
cool.
Yeah.
But did you see the plane? Did they have
Yeah,
the
we
plane?
did.
Yeah.
They hadn't. They've assembled it now, so
Yeah.
it looks like a plane more.
Yeah.
It wasn't when we were there.
It's built by carpenters. I mean,
It's
they're
impressive.
usually
Our
built
dad's a
cabins.
carpenter, and he
Yeah.
went up there later in the year, and he was looking at it. He was very impressed.
It's cool. Yeah. The German production guys. What do you call it? Production designer. He had really little time, and he went into this factory where they build cabins for people. You know, huts and cabins and stuff like that. I said, "Can you build a plane?" No, we build cabins. But you have to, because we need this plane in 3 weeks. Okay, should we do it? Let's do it.
How much time did you spend preparing the film?
I mean, I've been working on the script for 1.5 years or so, and then pre-production half a year or so.
It's pretty fast.
What?
Pretty fast.
The pre 6 months, I guess, and then past we finished shooting in mid May, and then we didn't start editing until late June. So it'll be half a year of post. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Take care.